Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, evening, whenever you get this. I'm going to upload this as one of the few public videos on the ministry channel over on the YouTubes. I think I was going to try to create a Rumble channel. Eventually, I'll get that. I'm supposed to call a friend in about 4 minutes. I might get a phone call from him, but I figured I'd try to record this very shortly. A flowchart for when to engage in online discourse or text via email. However you engage with people, you're not face to face. You can't see their tone, can't hear their tone, can't see their facial uh, uh, features, gestures, hand motions. There's statistics about nonverbal and verbal communication, and how, like, I don't know, I think it's more than 50% of all communication is nonverbal. And so somebody could Google the actual percentage. But when you're engaging in text, email, uh, online, social media, Twitter, it's 100% non. It's 100% nonverbal. Well, uh, you miss 100% of the nonverbal because all you see is the text. So you don't know the tone. You presume it. You don't know any kind of facial stuff unless they're making a video and responding with a video. But even then, you're not there for the back and forth. And so I feel like this is a kind of a flow chart or questions to ask to help avoid a conversation from being derailed. And I've created a group on Signal called Content, Kind, Long Suffering Peacemakers. And I was just recording a message to them this morning, sharing about that. I have had many engagements online that went somewhat swimmingly, but I've also had many that just somehow got derailed. And I've shared this with a few people. Some people have found it and told me about it who I didn't remember sharing it with. And I figured, why don't I share it publicly with commentary so that people don't just read it, but also hear it being read. So, first question: is the person going to listen to what I have to say? And or is this an eternal issue? So it's a two-part question. And a lot of times people don't really listen to understand. People just listen. A friend of mine, well, I was one of my squadrons, he would say, some people just wait to speak. They're not really listening. They're just waiting to speak. And that was very insightful. But hopefully, when you're initially engaging somebody online, you're like, somebody makes a comment on a Facebook post, and it's like, I don't really. They totally mischaracterized what I said, so I don't think they really want to know what I think. They just want to share what they think, and often it's contrary. Additionally, we have essential issues in the essentials unity, non-essentials liberty, all things charity. That's a very popular saying that people use, but sometimes it's hard to figure out what the essential issues are. So I use the question: is it an eternal issue? 100 years from now, how much will this matter? There are some things that'll matter 100 years from now. Most of us will be dead 100 years from now. That's why I use that number. It's an even number. But if it's not something that'll matter 100 years from now, then maybe the answer to that is do not engage. So I got the little flow chart there. So if they are going to listen to what I have to say, yes, I think so. Or if it is an internal issue, yes, I think so. You proceed to the next question. If the answer is no, just don't engage on it. And I need to do better at just not engaging on it. Number two, are they likely to give helpful feedback or a reasonable response, or even demonstrate the ability to respectfully disagree? Some people call it agree to disagree, but some people don't like that phrase because they're like, no, I'm not going to agree to disagree with that. I think it's wrong, and I want to more strongly disagree with it. I want to disagreeably disagree because it's disagreeable. So, if the answer to that is no, I can't respectfully disagree, don't engage, or no, I don't think that they will give helpful feedback or a reasonable response, then no, don't engage. But if the answer is yes, then you go to the third question. Also, up at the top left and right, I got my little thing here. You can see one of the conversations that people had 4 years ago was, and it's coming back, whether or not masks are effective. So some people, you can use this example of can somebody give helpful feedback about the mask usage or a reasonable response about wearing a mask. I was training somebody yesterday, work as a physical trainer, and she was wearing a mask. And she made a comment about how I think either she loses her breath or she fogs up her glasses or something happens when she wears a mask. I can't remember what it was. And I said, did a doctor say that you needed to wear it? That was my question. And she said, no, I just got used to it. And I did not see the need, as she was about to start her training session, to press the matter any further. But her glasses did fog up at the end of it. All right, number 3. Can I be respectful, avoid unnecessary, condescending, or snarky tone, and make a steelman argument? I'm going to move my little camera over to the other side here so that I don't put my finger in front of it. If I believe that I can not be snarky, I can avoid sounding condescending or make a good steelman argument, then I can proceed to the 4th question. But if not, that's when I should politely disengage. So sometimes I fail to politely disengage. Sometimes I like poking the bear. But obviously, according to the flow chart, I shouldn't do that. So that goes to number 4. Is the other person just demonstrating a desire to offer counterpoints and seems only to be looking for ways to deconstruct or dismiss my steelman argument? So I decided that I could, move this over here, I could offer a steelman argument. I decided that I could avoid being snarky. But when I observe what the other person's doing and they seem to only be looking for ways to deconstruct, fun word, whatever I'm saying, unfortunately, yes, politely disengage. But if no, so far so good, they're not really doing that, then we can go to the 5th question. Have we reached a point of agreement? Even if it's to agree to disagree, there's the phrase. And when the answer to that is affirmative, that we got there, the conclusion is to thank the person for their time, valuable insight that has been gained, then give glory to God and thanks to Him for the ability to make the most of the opportunity to invest into relationships which help us both grow. So hopefully you get there with your conversations online or in text or whatever. DMs sometimes are way more helpful than the comment thread. But if you can't reach that point of agreement to agree to disagree, you can continue, but only after doing so face-to-face or on the phone. So you can continue the conversation, but it's definitely best to be like, yeah, let's not do the text thing anymore. I've decided to put that boundary up with one of my brothers. It's like I sent him a text saying something. He came back and said, so you're saying? And I was like, no, I said what I said. I didn't say what I didn't say. One of my favorite tweets, by the way, that I've seen somebody post. And if you quickly can get down to number 4, and this continuing only after going to face-to-face, you don't have to wait to get all the way to number 5. You could go up to number 1. Is the person going to listen to what I have to say? If you're unsure, you could say, I'm just not going to engage with that person. Or you get to the point where, can I be respectful? And you're like, well, I don't know if they can perceive me as being respectful. And instead of politely disengaging, you could just say, hey, can we talk about this on the phone? It's another friend of mine that I think we have that kind of boundary on our relationship. It's like, yeah, let's not do the text thing. He doesn't like my voice memo thing. I'll send a voice memo, voice text. Sometimes I go on and on like I'm doing with this. I'm at 9 minutes now, so I'm 5 minutes late to call my friend, but I'll call him right now. At least I got it under 10 minutes, and he doesn't, for whatever reason, I think it's because he can't really pause and interject right away like he could if we were on the phone. And so we just, I'll text him and say, hey, can you talk? If I don't hear back, I assume the answer is no. And I'll just wait until he crosses my mind again, like he is right now, and I'll send him a text and be like, hey, man, you got time today? Let's chat. So I think that that's probably best if conversations go sideways and it's habitual. You may not even have to go through this flow chart every time. You may decide, hey, I'm only going to continue after having a phone call with this person. One of the guys, the conversation went sideways yesterday week ago, I was like, okay, it sounds like he's offering an opportunity to just call. So I just called him right then. He didn't answer. And I'm like, And he's like, why are you cold calling me? So it's confusing. Sometimes the generational differences cause disagreements too. I'll finish with this. There's a meme. I'd like to pull it up, but I don't know where it is. It's a Gen Xer, and he's saying, for all you millennials who are annoyed by the boomers, and all you boomers who are annoyed by the millennials, just remember, there's a Gen Xer right in the middle of you two who's annoyed with both of you. So politely disengage, do not engage, only engage after deciding to have a phone call with somebody. Whatever you decide, hopefully you don't get so frustrated that your relationship gets 6 F's instead of the 7 A's, which is in another video that you'll have to find or ask me about in the comments. I'll spell it out. God bless. Hope this was helpful. Take care. I'll be in touch. Peace.